Hello, fortune hunters. Tom Wilmot speaking, and welcome back again. Last week we focused on the downtrend in the euro and the pound. On this particular day, April 25th, 2019, it was a Thursday, and you can see that the pound was getting hammered. Down we went. We'll get rid of this particular line right here just to make things clear. Down we went. And in the last video, what we were discussing and positing was whether it's appropriate to take any kind of a trend reversal trade, a long trade, against this very serious selling activity, and which time frame would be best to use. So let's take a look at how our last video turned out. We'll get to it right after this. Okay, fortune hunters, let's take a look at what we were discussing last time. We had a 5-minute chart on the pound yen, and we could tell that on Thursday the 25th, it was still headed downwards. Each one of our little entry places worked out brilliantly. Let's backtrack and just see. Here is our London opening time, which would be 3 a.m., 2 to 3 a.m., back in the States, in New York and Boston, for example. We began this downtrend back here when we got our arrow, good arrow, 5-minute arrow off of the Zealander signal line, which is what we discussed last time, and down we went. And even from the London Open down into the 7 o'clock hour for Boston, we had a 55 pip drop. So things were really taking the express elevator downwards. And the real question is, when is it safe to maybe take a counter trend reversal trade? Notice here that we did get a white line on the trend magic indicator. We pulled back but got stalled right here at the chandelier, so that stop worked out well for us. But we can see we're trying to build a little bit of a bottom. We had another rush upwards here, and this is where we recorded that last video on the 5-minute chart, looking at our two white lines, which typically means that we've got a situation where we might have an updraft here. But what we suggested in that last video is it's always useful to take a look at the next higher time frame up, at least one, maybe two, before you get too excited about a reversal, because there will be significant resistance up ahead, even if you're not looking or seeing it on this lower time frame 5-minute chart. So notice here the first indication that things were not hunky-dory, even though you might be out of your down trade. The things show up. There's no white countervailing white arrow headed up here to show. Let me go back here and show you the last time that happened. We did get that up indicator here. That means that the 12 EMA is crossed over the Zealander signal line. So let's go down here and see. And we're not trying to make ourselves look too smart here. We're just trying to show you what the best way is to evaluate the potential upside move. Not so much here, and obviously after we recorded that on Thursday, we fell down in the afternoon. We tried to come back again. You can see this was in the late hours on Thursday afternoon in Boston, New York, and here we had a bit of a fling up and down here, some kind of announcement or just end of day kind of checkouts. So this is an area, and this yellow line kind of is the 1900 hour in Boston. Best to stay out of the market right here unless you have a significant continuing drop or increase, simply because your spreads increase. Most of the trading volume disappears from the chart, and you have nobody awake. All the Asian folks are sound asleep and aren't even ready to get going yet. The Europeans have gone off to dinner, and the Americans are doing the same. So unless you're in California, it's kind of bad for you. This is a weak time to be trading. Be careful of it. Now we pull into the evening hour, and you can see that we did in fact have some kind of a more significant reversal. But let's see here what our 15-minute chart is telling us. Notice here that it wasn't until we had that move on the 5-minute chart here, that kind of up and down move where we took out the upside chandelier on the 15-minute chart. Now we're back to 15, that you could begin to count on things. And even then, we settled back into the trend magic area. We had this little pullback, and we never really got the arrows for any kind of up move until such time as we got into the London Open on Friday morning. Notice then that it was still very muted, and even on this 15-minute chart, we were in a situation where we didn't have that much helpful upside move, very choppy. 18 pips is all it was compared to that 55 pip downdraft on Thursday. Let's go out one more time frame to the 30-minute chart. You can see here at least we've got a positive reversal possibility. On Friday, though, things tend to settle in. People are beginning to head home for the weekend. And notice here in the late afternoon on Friday afternoon, we really didn't have much going on. So this downdraft here was just a settlement downdraft. I wouldn't worry about it, but you got to be careful in these late afternoon, especially Friday late afternoon periods. So Wednesday and Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday tend to be the days when you're going to get the best moves. On this 30-minute chart, it's a little dicey because these have not had a chance to really firm up. Best to maybe drop back into this 15-minute area where you can get into that 30 to 40 pip kind of movement. This is this one here, 27, then the downdraft, so you have to be a little careful there. That was on the 23rd, which would have been Tuesday. Then we had our arrow here, and we had pullback into the chandelier on the 15. Once you get this movement on the 15, then it's best to drop down and test that 5-minute to see where you stand. So I hope that's helpful for you today. Be sure to like these videos, comment if you'd like us to offer any other indicators or potentially insights on how trend magic would work on another currency pair. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll be back at it as we head into the 1st of May, and we see that jobs report in the U.S. a week from Friday. Thanks a lot. Take care.